welcome to a new episode of Italy In and Out. Today we have a special guest. We have Charlotte with us. Hi, Charlotte. How are you?
Hi guys, I'm pretty good. How are you ladies doing?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Yeah,
Bit, bit cold here, but usual things. So to start, Charlotte, can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're coming from? What do you do? Just a bit of a
Sure.
background.
So I'm Charlotte Cusimano Majorana. I am a born and raised New Yorker. I'm here in Staten Island, New York today, where it's also a little chilly and rainy. I am a mom to an almost 1-year-old, a wife of almost 8 years, and a book editor.
Okay, thank you for a lovely presentation. But the reason we have invited you here today because I have just crossed over your profile on Instagram, and I learned that you are about to move into Italy. Is that right?
Yeah, so we've been on a quest for dual citizenship for a few years. So I'm an Italian American, and my great grandfather was a Italian citizen at the time of my grandfather's birth. And we had found these census records that showed that my great grandfather was an alien when my grandfather was 8 in the 30s. And so that allows the citizenship to pass through down the line. And so my grandfather is unfortunately not here anymore, but he would be very happy to be hearing all about these adventures and me chasing our past. And it's been really interesting. I've found out so much about our family line, and we've always had like a really, an Italian-American relationship that you have no doubt seen. A lot of Frank Sinatra, a lot of Sunday dinner, a lot of fish on Christmas Eve, plastic on the couches, that kind of stuff. But in another storyline that you're familiar with, I studied abroad, and that was a massive change for me. My mom was disabled, and we didn't really go a lot of places as a kid, and then I studied abroad, and it was like a very eye-opening experience, and I studied in Viterbo, and ever since then, it was in like the mid-2000s, it's been a very push and pull with Italy all the time, and lots of travel there, time with family, and ensuring that we go a few times a year, since like 2006. So it's been really lovely. And so all of that together, I've been pursuing my dual citizenship, and it's been about a 3-year process, and there's been ups and downs, and we finally had everything all ready to go, and we were going to spend a month there in April with our son and do the residency program, applying through there, and then the consulates would work together. And I was telling Irina, you were looking forward to giving Carlo, our son, his second passport for his first birthday, which is just in a few weeks, but obviously those plans had been affected slightly. So we're kind of in a holding pattern right now. But once I have my citizenship, and Carlo will have his, and my husband will work through getting it that way. Our plan is to move and to be, I know we have like a few ideas in our heads that we're trying to formulate and pull our business plan together and everything, but yeah, that is the plan.
Excellent. So good luck with everything. It sounds wow, amazing.
Yeah, sounds like it's been a long process, but hopefully soon you'll be able to actually go there.
And I'm sure you both understand it's, getting birth certificates from like 1870 took a long time from Sicily.
Yeah. So you mentioned in Sicily, is that where you would like to move? And also, why do you love Italy so much, apart from...
Sure. So no, I mean, I do love Sicily, but I just don't think that's probably that's like where I want to go to escape, not where I want to, live full time, especially with a young child and as a young family. So we're kind of looking in Lombardy and Piemonte, actually, in terms of where we want to be settling down. And why we love the country, I think that Italy has a really unique balance of living in its history and also in the present. And I think people who, speaking as an outsider, are unfamiliar or not as familiar with the country are unaware of the amount of innovation that is still goes on there, even while having such a strong relationship to its past. And I just think that's such a unique and lovely experience to feel the history and see it and have it be a part of you while you're walking around, but that's also not its limitation. And I do think that the pace of life is very welcome. And I know that there's no panacea. You know, every place has its issues, and Italy is not stripped of economic problems. But I do think that right now it's going through a little bit of a, I guess it went through its own renaissance already, but a little bit of like another rebirth, in the sense that all of the literature that's coming out, all of the films and television and directors, and the unity that the country is currently feeling, that again, as an outsider, at least in my lifetime, I haven't seen. I just feel like it's really having a moment, and all of that is kind of coming together in a way that I hadn't seen it come together before. So if you add that on top of already everything that everyone knows that the country has to offer, I think it makes it a very appealing destination.
That's an exhausting description. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, yeah.
I was thinking we've never
More
had
questions?
someone we asked why would you like to move to Italy, that is because of the history and this kind of cultural side. So it's very.
Is it just food normally? Is people like, I just like want to eat?
The
I mean, I want to eat
wine,
too. But
it's great. It's kind of like a different point of view. So it's
Yeah, not only pasta and wine, right?
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
pasta and wine too. But
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
where I am, we have a lot of pasta and wine, and a lot of Italians, and a lot of Italian specialty products. And it's not the same, but there is a lot of that here. So that's part of it.
Okay.
You just
But-
didn't
You don't
mention
even think about it, right? Okay, so it's like for sure, yeah, you're right.
right, that is a given, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, like hearing your listening to you about this experience, yeah, you have mentioned many lovely points and so on, but I think that at the same part, there are many struggles you have to face, and especially now in this crazy period about COVID, right, which makes everything much more harder. Like, what are the biggest challenges you have to face so far?
I think for us, the biggest challenge is knowing that you have to put down roots again. So we've lived in the neighborhood that we live in, for example, for 7 years. And so we have roots here. You know, we have people that we can rely on, even something as simple as someone who can come and take care of our cat when we're out of town, you know, that kind of stuff, like feeling like you're really part of a community, running into people in the park while I'm out for a run, and seeing folks that you know at the nail salon, with that feeling of comfort and familiarity. And I think anyone who has contemplated any move abroad or to another country, or even to another city, especially in a country like the States, you know that you're going to go through a cultural shock period, and you have to go through putting those roots down somewhere else, but with learning a new language on top of that, and getting that massive cultural change, and trying to also embed yourself in a community, so you're not just an expat and you're not just dealing with expats all the time because that's more comfortable, but really just like accepting everything around you and becoming part of it. I think that is probably one of the biggest challenges, if not the biggest, that we face.
Yeah, and we can only agree, right?
Yeah, I think we can both relate to that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cultural shock, learning the new language, it's all part of the package.
We have language skill, but I think it's also such a nervousness. Like you feel like you're outsider, so you're like, oh, I'm not doing this right. I'm not saying this right. You're like stumbling over your own feet. At least is my experience. So just getting over that also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As part of the struggles, when you told your family, was there a struggle to tell them, and how did they react?
I don't know. I think it's mixed. Like, I think that, my parents they've never been to Italy. I think that is more common than you would think for Italian American families. They might have a foot in two places, but a lot of it is sometimes they didn't want to go back. You know, they came here and they didn't want to return. In our case, as I said, my mom is disabled, so they're not traveling anywhere. And I think they feel like, okay, if you move, we'll just go. So I think that they're nervous but excited also, and I think that others are um, not shocked, but also like, okay, we'll wait and see what happens and have to figure it out, you know, when we get there, you know, to see what it was like. But I don't think anyone was like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of anything so crazy in my life. I think that they, you know, kind of see where things have been going.
Not bad, yeah. It sounds very supportive, yeah, because we know that this situation or this transition is really challenging for all of us. So if you think about it, is this something that you are particularly afraid of?
Um, I guess inevitably, like that day when you wake up and you're like, why did I do this? It sounds, you know, like at home I had, you know, this support and these people, and now I'm here and I'm alone and I like having a hard time speaking to my plumber. And you know, I think that you'll inevitably feel that way. So I think just knowing that, okay, I'm going to get over this, and I know that I'm going to feel eventually like, I wish I did this earlier, or I wish we did this sooner, and just not having the regret of that, and not letting that, knowing that you're going to feel that way, kind of get in the way.
Okay, wow, okay. So thank you very much, because this is like, wow, really eye-opening, honest interview. Like I think that one of the best we have ever done, because you spoke about this process like really openness, and you were really honest, because yeah, we know that expat life, it's not almost sunshine and roses, and yeah, and you mentioned like the most common feelings and troubles we expats face. So really, thank you very much for your honesty.
Oh, thank you for chatting with me.
Yeah. You're super welcome. Also, we will be here around Milan, so you're super welcome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it
Yeah,
very much.
yeah. I would love to chat you in person, so definitely
Yes,
give me a
absolutely,
ring.
both of you ladies.
Thank you. So thank you very much for being here today with us. So once again, this is Charlotte. You can follow her and her story on Instagram. Her account is Charlotte CM, right?
CCM,
Yeah,
CC.
CCM. Okay, so CCM, yeah. And yeah, just good luck with everything. And it was a pleasure to speak to you today.
Likewise, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.